Hey, what is up, everyone? I'm Dr. Mike Trubetskov, the mad scientist of metal. Today, I want to talk about something that is really important for our community, be it heavy metal, rock, or actually any other music, and that is how to mix your own music without up. Now, this video is going to be based on my recent experience of mixing my own music, which is the Overcoming project. I'm going to be talking about the track called Determination, and that is coming out in a month's time. So if you could pre-save, that would be much appreciated. But this video is not about self-promo at all. It's just a mention because I'm using this song in the video as a demonstration as well. So many of you know that I'm a professional producer and mix engineer. I've been working in the field since 2015, full-time since 2018. So I have a bit of experience doing this for my clients in a good, streamlined fashion. I have all the sessions nicely organized, and I do not experience issues when mixing stuff for the others. It does take a while sometimes, and some projects vary in difficulty, but overall, it is well set for me, and I know how to approach this well. For my project, when I mixed Determination in February, I believe, I spent 3 times longer than normally, which is not the best outcome. I did achieve the sound that I wanted, and the track sounds quite awesome, so that's definitely good, but I spent way too long on it and I struggled. I experienced challenges and I've successfully overcome this. So I'm gonna share what I've done, what I experienced, how and why. Now, let's talk about mixing your own music and why is it harder than mixing someone else's music. There are a few points on this. But first one is, mixing your own music is hard because you are not fresh at all. You've spent so long composing, recording, performing, practicing, producing, and even just thinking and listening to the demos so that you're attached to how things sounded in a raw way, and you just don't have that fresh ear that is required for successful mixing, and you don't have a way to make decisions fast. Now, you've also lost some of the objectivity for the following reasons. Firstly, the emotional bond to your music is stronger. There is the thing that I notice when I'm mixing someone else's music. When things start to come together and feel good, I immerse into the groove and I really start to dig what the music is about. It's all coming together, and I can feel that after I've achieved a certain percentage of good sound already, when things are kinda working together. With my music, however, what I noticed is I've connected to it straight away in a raw format. Even if I isolate a certain instrument and listen to it in solo, I groove into it immediately. And that's no good. I mean, it is good because I love my music, and that's obviously a prerequisite for you to like what you've done and to appreciate what you've done in order to get a good mix. But it's also detrimental because you lose objectivity and you can no longer find technical flaws in it. If you're grooving into those guitar tracks heavily and they contain, say, a resonance or a muddy frequency which you just do not notice as you're enjoying it so much already, that's detrimental to the outcome. As simple as that. And I've had that problem when working on my track. To sum this up, in short, everything seems sick, whereas some things are not sick yet. On the other side of the spectrum, you may be too self-conscious about your performance. Say, if you're a singer and you're mixing your own vocal tracks, you may hate how you sound, whereas there is nothing wrong with your voice, and in fact, you may sound terrific already. There may be a little flaw here and there, which is fixable, and you can fix that if you do have that objective perception in check. But if you don't, you would just hate everything, and that would result in, to sum it up shortly, everything seems crap, whereas it is not. And so these two skewed perspectives really prevent you from making objective decisions and from approaching your music the way the fresh listener would. So, keeping this in mind is probably half of a solution to this problem. So I went through the videos that I've been shooting on the days of mixing my track. And while these are really long, and I don't think that all of these are informative enough, I've discovered a pattern. And that pattern is things started to sound good quite rapidly for me. I made some fast decisions and these worked, but then I started to overcomplicate things and I dwelt on some elements for too long, for instance drums and for instance snare drum, and that was a problem. And because of that, I spent so long trying to kinda blend this back, and I've made some decisions which actually didn't work. I've put more plugins on top of the existing ones, and the results were worse, and I had to go in circles basically. So this balance is actually quite fragile and it's easy to disrupt this. What can we do about these complications in order to make our lives easier when mixing our own music? Because inevitably in your career as a musician, you will mix your music at some point in some way, shape or form, be it a demo or be it a professional recording when you're limited in budget, or maybe you're like myself, you want a certain vision to be printed into the tracks and you just do not find it elsewhere. You have it in your brain and you want it immersed in your music. And I've had the same, and I struggled and I wish I could have outsourced it, but I just wanted certain vision to be executed. So that happened. Let's talk about solutions to this problem, alright? In order to not have some of those issues that I've just highlighted, what can you do? Firstly, always keep the big picture in mind. Take lots of breaks and force yourself to take breaks. And I actually didn't. That's one of my mistakes. Take breaks and try to reconnect with the music and try to reconnect with the message of the song and with the idea, how you came by that track and what you are trying to convey with it. This will really, really help you to focus on the right elements and find the important order in which tracks come together. Take breaks often, lots of breaks, force yourself to it, maybe use a timer. I failed with this, and this is bad. So all I'm trying to do is I'm trying to give a lesson to my past self from a couple of months, but you hopefully might benefit from it as well. Also, prepare for it to be harder than normal for the reasons outlined above, and I don't think that you can fix this up 100%. It's just you're either fresh or not. Keeping these things in mind will help to a degree. Prepare for the process to be somewhat complex. One of the ideas that I have is send it to your friends, send it to your mates, send it to your musicians to see what sort of feedback they have. Take it with a grain of salt because everyone is different and some things that occur to the others are actually meant to be. If you send it to maybe 3 to 5 people and find some common patterns, that's a sign that you should probably fix this up. And lastly, here's a pitch. Hire a seasoned pro like myself, bro. And I want to call bullshit on this approach. I freaking hate this. The reason I brought this up in this humorous manner is in our industry with music professionals like mix engineers like myself, producers, this is the go-to way of attracting clients. You give some value for free, you engage with the audience, and then you pitch yourself. I'm not sure if it is bad or not, but I kinda don't feel like it is appropriate, especially in such scenario when you're quite obviously limited in some resources when you are mixing your track, or you have your vision that you want to put into your music. This is not the place to hire someone else unless you feel like that it would be an easy way, an easy solution for you. It won't. It's very unlikely to be the case. And if it is, you're really lucky and I respect you a lot. But if you feel like this is a great way to save the budget, I don't think so, and you may be mistaken. In all of the other cases, this is not appropriate. This is not an appropriate pitch. And I don't think that it should be this way. I think that in our industry, we should help you guys to make the best out of your art in your circumstances. So, have this advice, go use it, and hopefully come up with a great mix on which you can build up for the future. I guess that's all from me, and thanks so much for tuning in.